Most people in the UK make the biggest financial decision of their life at age 17, and they don't even realize they're making it: university or apprenticeship. The truth is, this single choice can create a £200,000 swing in your net worth before you're even 30. It's not because one path is inherently better, it's because most people never run the numbers. Today, we're going to run them. Every cost, every earning figure, every hidden detail of the student loan system. By the end, you'll know exactly which path builds more wealth, and why the answer depends on something most people completely ignore: the university path, debt, fees, and the graduate tax. Let's start with university, the path most people in the UK consider the default. The problem is the cost. Tuition fees for new students in England now sit at £9,535 per year, rising to £9,790 in the 2026 to 2027 academic year. Over a standard 3-year degree, that's roughly £29,000 in tuition alone. Then you add maintenance loans for living costs, typically £10,000 to £13,000 per year. By graduation, the average student in England carries over £53,000 of debt. But the truth is, the debt figure itself isn't the real issue. The real issue is how you repay it. Under the Plan 5 loan, which applies to anyone starting university from 2023 onwards, you repay 9% of everything you earn above £25,000. Every pound over that threshold, 9 pence goes to the student loans company. The loan is wiped after 40 years, not 30. And interest is charged at the retail price index rate throughout. This creates something most graduates don't understand until it's too late. It's not a loan in the traditional sense. It's a 9% graduate tax that follows you for 4 decades. If you earn £45,000, you're paying roughly £1,800 per year. If you earn £60,000, you're paying over £3,000 per year, every year, until you're in your 60s. The key is to recognize what this means for your wealth building. That £1,800 per year, invested at 7% over 40 years, compounds to over £350,000. That's money you could have invested. Instead, it's gone, repaying a degree you finished decades ago. Now, graduates do still earn more on average. The latest government data shows graduates earn roughly £100,000 more over their lifetime than non-graduates. The median graduate salary sits around £40,000, compared to roughly £30,000 for non-graduates. But that average hides enormous variation, and that variation is the most important part of this entire video. The apprenticeship path. Earn while you learn. Now let's look at the other path, degree apprenticeships. The difference isn't luck, it's a system. On this path, you earn a full salary, while your employer and the government cover your tuition. You finish with a bachelor's or master's degree, the same qualification, and 0 student debt. Degree apprentices at major UK firms typically earn between £20,000 and £35,000 per year during their program, which usually lasts 4 to 5 years. At a Big Four accountancy firm or a major bank, London-based apprentices often start at £30,000 or more. Across the full program, a degree apprentice can accumulate roughly £100,000 in total earnings. Compare that to the university student. After 3 years, they haven't earned a salary. They've accumulated £53,000 of debt. That's a £150,000 swing. And that's before either person has started a graduate-level job. The key is to understand that this head start compounds. The apprentice who starts investing at 22, with 4 years of earnings behind them and no debt, has a financial advantage that grows for decades. The earlier you start, the more your money benefits from compounding, where your returns begin generating additional returns. But apprenticeships aren't perfect. You sacrifice the traditional student experience. Your career path is more defined early on, less room to explore. And not every apprenticeship is created equal. A poorly designed scheme at a small employer is very different from a structured program at a company like PwC, Rolls-Royce, or IBM. The problem is, most people compare the best university experience against the average apprenticeship. That's not a fair comparison. The right question is, what does each path look like for you in the specific field you want to enter? The numbers, 5-year financial comparison. Let's put the numbers side by side. This is where most people get it wrong, because they compare the wrong things. At the 5-year mark from starting their path, here's where each person stands. The degree apprentice has completed their program. They have roughly £100,000 in cumulative earnings, minus living costs, and 0 student debt. They now have 3 to 4 years of industry experience. They're likely earning between £35,000 and £45,000, depending on their field. The university graduate is 2 years into their career. They have £53,000 of student debt. They've had 2 years of graduate earnings, perhaps £28,000 to £35,000 in their first roles. And 9% of everything above £25,000 is already leaving their payslip. The truth is, at this 5-year mark, the average degree apprentice is roughly £80,000 to £120,000 ahead in net worth. That's not a small gap. That's the deposit on a house. But here's where it gets more interesting. Move forward to the 10-year mark. By now, the university graduate may have caught up, especially if they studied a high-earning subject. Medicine graduates, for example, pull far ahead by their mid-30s. Economics, engineering, and law graduates typically overtake apprentices in lifetime earnings by their 40s. The key is that the convergence point depends entirely on what you study and where you work. For some degrees, the apprentice never catches up. For others, the graduate overtakes within a decade. Why subject choice matters more than path. This is the part most people completely ignore, and it's the most important factor in the entire decision. The Department for Education released new data in June 2026, showing that degree choice drives earnings more than any other factor. The average graduate earns £100,000 more over their lifetime than a non-graduate. But that average collapses when you break it down by subject. Medicine graduates earn hundreds of thousands more over their career. Economics, law, and engineering graduates do very well, but creative arts graduates often earn below the non-graduate median 5 years after graduation. Some psychology and humanities graduates see very little earnings premium at all. This creates an uncomfortable truth. For some degrees, the financial case for university simply doesn't work. When you factor in 3 years of lost earnings, £53,000 of debt, and the 9% graduate tax for 40 years, and then you earn roughly the same as someone who never went to university, the maths falls apart. On the other hand, a medicine or engineering degree is one of the best financial investments you can make. The lifetime earnings premium far outweighs the cost. The difference isn't luck, it's a system, and the system rewards 2 things: choosing a high-earning field and starting early. Combine both, and you build wealth faster than almost anyone else. Which path is right for you? So which path should you choose? The answer depends on 3 questions. 1. Do you want to enter a regulated profession? If you want to be a doctor, a solicitor, or an engineer with chartered status, university is not optional. It's the entry requirement. The question isn't whether it's worth it. The question is whether you want the career at all. 2. Do you want to earn while you learn? If the idea of graduating with £53,000 of debt and paying a 9% tax for 40 years doesn't appeal to you, a degree apprenticeship gives you the same qualification without the financial burden. But you need to be comfortable entering the workforce at 18 and committing to a specific career path early. 3. What subject are you actually interested in? If your passion is creative writing, fine art, or philosophy, the financial case for university is weak. You need to be honest with yourself about whether the debt is worth it. On the other hand, if you're drawn to economics, computer science, or medicine, the numbers strongly favor university. The problem is, most 17-year-olds aren't thinking about 40-year repayment terms, compound interest, or lifetime earnings premiums. They're thinking about which university has the best social life. That's not a criticism, it's completely natural, but it means the decision is often made for the wrong reasons. The key is to separate the experience from the investment. University can be a formative, life-changing experience. And for some people, that's worth the cost, regardless of the financial return. But if your primary goal is building wealth, you need to treat this decision like any other investment. Run the numbers, compare the returns, and choose accordingly. The system most people miss. Here is what most people in the UK never understand about this decision. The gap between the university path and the apprenticeship path is not a gap of degrees or qualifications. It's a gap of time. The apprentice gets a 4-year head start on earning and investing. The university student gives up 4 years of income and takes on debt in exchange for a qualification that may or may not pay off. The earlier you start, the more your money benefits from compounding, where your returns begin generating additional returns. This creates a snowball effect that grows stronger over time. Starting early is not optional, it's essential. But the system also rewards specialization. A high-earning degree from a good university in a field with strong demand will compound faster than an average apprenticeship in a low-growth sector. The key is the combination, the right field, the right path, and the discipline to invest early and consistently. Now you understand the system. University is still worth it for the right person in the right subject with a clear understanding of the cost. An apprenticeship is also worth it for the right person with the right employer who values earning over the traditional student experience. Neither path is universally better, but one path is almost certainly better for you. Wealth building is simple, but it requires patience and long-term thinking to truly work. Whether you choose university or an apprenticeship, the system is the same. Earn well, spend less than you earn, and invest the difference consistently. If you're serious about growing your wealth, watch the next video on your screen, where I break down exactly where to invest your first money step by step